Happy birthday to the church, and it is Pentecost Sunday. I can't believe already, June the 8th, 2014. Here we are, we've come through 7 Sundays of Easter season, and we come to the culmination, which is Pentecost Sunday, where we know that the disciples were in an upper room praying, and that the Holy Spirit descended upon them like tongues of fire. And from that moment on, they had the mission of fire in their hearts. They were able to have courage and the ability that they never even thought they were going to be able to have. They went out and didn't care about themselves, didn't even care about whether they lived or died. All they cared about was getting the message of Jesus across to other people. My friends, that is the charge for you and I. As people that are baptized and receive the Holy Spirit, it is up to us to bring that mission of Christ to other people. So often we think, well, that's only for pastoral ministers, priests, people that are in the professional end of the church. But no, today is a feast day that reminds us that this is when the church began. And who is the church? It's all of us. So it's really speaking about a relationship that we have with each other and that we have with God. And that God is always going to be with us. You know, one of the gifts of the Holy Spirit is peace. And a lot of times when you say the gift of peace, we think, that's going to be great. Everything's going to be calm. It's going to be quiet. It's going to be that. But that's not really what the gift of peace is about. The gift of peace that we receive from the Holy Spirit is a gift of courage. It's a gift of overcoming our fears and the tensions and the difficulties of our lives. It's a peacefulness that comes from knowing who Jesus is in our lives. That's different than what we think peace is so often. We think it's sort of like everything is going to be okay, that there's never going to be a conflict, there's never going to be a miscommunication, we're never going to have another disagreement with anybody. But that's not what it means. It means that we'll have the ability to discuss things with each other, to talk things out, to grapple through the difficulties. I know in my own life as a priest, I have relied on the Holy Spirit so many times for things that I know that I wasn't able to do. And somehow, some way, even in my own sinfulness, God chose to use me in people's lives or in certain situations. What's amazing about that is God continues to come to us, so that even in the moments that we are discouraged, in the moments we might get depressed, in the moments that we just feel like wanting to give up, I've always found that God gives me something to remind me that He's still using me. Somebody will come up and say, thank you for something that I didn't even realize I did. And I then understand how the Holy Spirit works. I'm always humbled by that because I realize, and it reminds me that it's not about me, but that it's about God's work in this world. And if I can be an instrument of His work, that's all I'm asking. And that's really what we should all ask today for ourselves. So celebrate this birthday of the church. I remind you that if you're listening to this before you come to Mass this weekend, we all want to try to wear red to celebrate in a visual sign of what this feast day is all about. Something that is bright and beautiful, like the azaleas that are right behind me. Also this weekend, we're very excited at our 10:15 Mass. We have one person who is a candidate for finishing his initiation sacraments, Zoltan Bennett. He's going to be receiving confirmation. And we have another guy, John Mandillo, who's going to be coming into full communion with the Catholic Church. So I ask you to pray for these guys and ask the Holy Spirit to truly bless them in a powerful way. I remind you that after all the Masses this weekend, we have our farewell to Father Ray Rodriguez. God bless you.